Hello everybody and welcome back to a new video. Well, it is Friday today, which means it's Final Community Friday, where I talk about vinyl related stuff or music related stuff on like physical media. So I'm going to be doing a haul as promised from Wednesday's video and yesterday's video. So I've got two sets of stuff to talk about today. So I'm going to talk about the CDs in the second half of the video, and the first half I'm going to talk about the vinyl that I've acquired this month. So let's just start, and the first one I'm going to tell you about is this. This is More on Police, A Boat on the Sea. Now, I was actually sent this album by the band themselves. They sent me a lot of goodies. They sent me a poster, they sent me 2 copies of this album, a copy of it on CD and a t-shirt, which was very, very kind of them, and I think that the album is very, very good as well. Some very good modern day prog, which is what I'm trying to explore at the moment, the modern side of progressive rock, because I'm kind of stuck in the 70s at the moment, so listening to something new is always great because it reminds me that progressive rock isn't really dead. Now we're going back to the 70s, I guess, with Hatfield in the North. This came out in 1974. This is a great album that I've acquired this month, and I'm getting more into the Canterbury scene and lesser known progressive rock bands, and this is a great album for all of you who maybe have gotten into prog, you've gotten into the big names of prog, but you want to explore something else in a completely new sound. Bands like Hatfield in the North are really great to check out. Next up we have The Power and the Glory by Gentle Giant. I've been getting into Gentle Giant quite a lot in the past month or so with the acquiring of the Unburied Treasure box set, which I would show in this video, but I've already done a box set showcase on it, so I don't need to tell you that I've got it again. But this is a great album, one that I really do recommend to all of you out there who want to get into prog. Again, you know, they're quite an accessible band. The reason I didn't put them in my last video is because I couldn't think of a Gentle Giant album that would be good for someone starting off with prog, because I think that their sound is quite different to the bigger bands of prog, and you know, it took me a while to get into them, so I'm just going off what I know and what I think would be best for beginner prog bands. But this is a fantastic album. I think it's one of the more well-known Gentle Giant records. I'm actually growing my Gentle Giant vinyl collection at the moment, so I think this is the latest one that I have. I have the first album, Acquiring the Taste, 3 Friends, Octopus, and also this one. And hopefully I'll get into more of their stuff via the box set. Next we have the Robert Wyatt solo album Rock Bottom. This is really great. This has got a lot of great musicians on it. It's got Mike Oldfield on it, you know, it's got Richard Sinclair, obviously Robert Wyatt, and some just very, very great musicians on this album. I highly recommend this. This is just from the person we bought it from, but yeah, this actually came with a CD and I really did enjoy this record a lot. Next, both from the same group, so Soft Machine 4th and 5th. I talked about these albums in my previous video on what I listened to this month, and I acquired both of these albums this month because I really loved them both. I couldn't stop listening to 4th for like at least a week, so obviously I had to get this one, and obviously 5th as well because I was intrigued in their later stuff. Well, not really that much later, I mean it's after this one, but both very great bands, and both very good albums from a very great band, and yeah, Soft Machine are really great. They are also a Canterbury scene group along with Hatfield in the North, so I think they're more of a challenging group to get into, but if you want to try yourself out with the getting into prog, or if you just love prog and want to hear something completely different, a bit more on the jazz fusion side, then I do recommend Soft Machine to you. Okay, going into the 80s, I have now finally acquired a copy of Misplaced Childhood by Marillion. It took a very long time to get because multiple different sellers were letting us down and not, you know, either not sending us the album or just waiting 3 weeks to tell us that they don't have the album. It was a crazy story, which I'll explain now. So the first time we tried to get this album, the guy told us, I think 5 minutes later, yeah, I don't have this album, very sorry. And we were like, okay, fair enough, we'll just get it somewhere else. Second time we tried to get this album, we, you know, bought the album, payment received, all that kind of stuff, but it wasn't shipped. And we kept sending the guy messages saying when he's shipping the album, because it got to a point where it was like, this was a UK seller who just wasn't sending out our album, and we were just really confused for about 3 weeks. And all of a sudden, when we actually decided to get Discogs involved, then they decided to say, oh, we don't have the album. So we had to get it elsewhere, but I finally have it, and it's a fantastic album. Some brilliant 80s prog if you thought prog was a bit interesting in the 80s and you weren't a big fan of the poppier side of the bigger groups, then Marillion is definitely one for you to try out. They're a very good group that a little bit underrated in my opinion. Okay, next up, I think a lot of you guys might be happy about this because I'm delving more into the lesser known prog bands of, you know, outside the UK, and this is still sealed, I believe, and this is FM Black Noise. This is a Canadian band, and they are very good, very great sound, almost kind of Rush-esque. I say that because they're both Canadian, but with the classic rock and also the progressive rock feel. This is a very fantastic album, and I'm very interested in looking more into these kinds of groups, you know, that weren't getting the recognition they deserved and just kind of went under the radar. But this is a fantastic album and one that I really recommend to all of you out there. Alright, next up we have Khan Space Shanty. Now, I did a review of this one and I actually managed to get the album this month because I loved it so much that I just decided to get it. And as you guys know, this has got Steve Hillage on it, a very fantastic guitarist, and just a fantastic album overall. Some very almost Peter Hamill-esque kind of vocal style from Van der Graaf Generator, and just a very, very great album. Great guitar work, of course, and keyboards done very well. This is a Canterbury scene group as well. Well, I don't know if it's a completely Canterbury scene group, but they have got Canterbury scene musicians. Next we have Yes Shows, which is, I think, the beginning of the 80s Yes period, and the person who actually sent us this provided a nice tour program from the time inside. Obviously it's promoting Drama, which is the recent release prior to this album, but this is great. I like the set list on here, it's very, very good. There's some stuff from Going for the One, which I'm really into at the moment, and obviously stuff from Drama, which I'm still kind of trying to get into myself, and it's got Gates of Delirium from Relaya, so it is a very great set list. A lot of the bigger tracks are on this album. By bigger I mean the longer, but just a beautiful album, beautiful artwork, everything about it's very good, and I'm alright with different vocalists as long as it works. Lastly from the, actually it's not last, but almost lastly from the vinyl section of the video, Benefit by Jethro Tull. Now, we have two copies of this because this one is a US Record Store Day pressing. This was a Stephen Wilson remix that was only sold on Record Store Day. We have got another copy of this, but it doesn't actually sound as good, but this one sounds very crisp, very lovely, and just a very great album overall. I'm a big Jethro Tull fan, and I'm sure a lot of you guys out there are also Jethro Tull fans. So I do recommend this album if you've not heard it. Maybe you've heard Aqualung, maybe you've heard Thick as a Brick, but if you've not heard this one, then it's a great album. It's got some really great songs on it. And this one kind of falls under the CD and vinyl because this came with both, and this is the classic years of Eloy. Really big into Eloy at the moment. I love the German progressive rock sound, and I'm sure you guys do too. This contains 3 of their albums on vinyl and on CD. So in here, I will show you what we've got. So we have Dawn, Ocean, and this one had a long name, yep, Silent Cries and Mighty Echoes. So I've listened to Ocean, that's the one that I've heard, and it's absolutely great. Great concept album. You know, just a great band. I think that they are very criminally underrated, and I actually discovered them through a Spotify playlist called, I think it was called Prog Rock Monsters. You guys might be familiar with it. On Spotify, where they have a lot of the earlier progressive rock stuff and stuff that never really got the attention that it deserved. But Eloy are a great band, and I really recommend them to all of you who want to get into that kind of stuff. Next, onto the CD portion of the videos. As you guys know, I am going to university this year. In September I'll be going away, and I will not be able to take my vinyl collection with me or my record player or anything like that. So I'm trying to collect as much of my favourite bands on CD form as possible because it's easy to transport CDs and CD boxes and stuff like that. So they're all for uni because I'm trying to, you know, get some of my favourite music in CD form. So the first one I was going to mention, which is over there, it's quite heavy so I can't really bring it over, but that is the early years of Pink Floyd, 1965 to 72, so the very good years of Pink Floyd essentially, and that is a monster of a box set. If you guys are interested in a box set showcase on that, I'm happy to do that. and also the Wish You Were Here immersion box set, which is absolutely great. I've been really getting into Wish You Were Here lately, so very, very good. The 5.1 surround sound mix is very, very good on that. Alright, so the ones I have next to me here, I have the Beatles in stereo box set. This has just got all their albums in it in stereo and in mini LP form, so not the dual case. And this is I know a lot of you guys I've seen on comment sections have said that this box set doesn't sound very good, the quality isn't very nice and all that. I think it sounds alright. I've listened to plenty of albums of it on my MP3 player, I've listened to them on my CD player, and I think they sound fine. And that's coming from someone who's a music production student, so I think my ears are trained to sniff out things that aren't sounding too good, but I think that that sounds really great. Yeah, I'm a big Beatles fan. I don't think I actually talk about that much in my videos, but I do very much love them. Right, next we have Rush, Sector 1 and Sector 2. Now, Sector 3 is in the UK at the moment, but I needed to film this video today. So, I have got Sector 3 on its way, but I've got these two here. So this has got the Sector 1 here. This has got the early stuff up until 2112. And from this one, it goes from Farewell to Kings up to Moving Pictures. So these are two very good box sets. I've been listening to a lot of Rush lately. I mean, it was the anniversary of 2112 yesterday, so I was listening to that a lot. I listened to that on vinyl and on CD. I was ambitious. It's one of my favourite albums of all time. But these are two very beautiful box sets, and you know, I think with the third one you can make the little, looks like a case. So these are very good box sets, very nice sounding. Again, mini LP style, not the dual case. Going back to Pink Floyd again, I got the Pink Floyd Discovery set, which is every single Pink Floyd album on CD. If I can open this up for you guys. It looks very lovely in there. And again, any of these box sets that you want me to talk about, I'm more than happy to talk about in a video. But this is a very, very lovely box set. I know there's a school of opinion that says that there's another box set that has all their albums in it that sounds a lot better. But this one sounds really good. I've been able to listen to them really well. The sound is very good, and you know, I'm a big Pink Floyd fan. Again, massive Pink Floyd fan. The Fear Inoculum. This is not the one with the screen in it. This is just the expanded book edition, but it comes with a download code, and it's got the album in it, of course, but it comes with pictures of, you know, band pictures, just very, very trippy artwork. That's what Tool is, and they're just a very, very great band. This is their new album, and if you don't know anything about Tool, then really just give them a listen. I'm just not going to say anything, just listen to their stuff and you will be made aware of what Tool's all about. But this is a very, very neat little box here. It's not a box really, it's like a little book, but it's just fantastic. And I know that there is one with the screen in it, but that one cost a pretty penny, so I didn't think it was necessary either. I mean, it looked cool, but I don't know. Alright, next up we have the Genesis 1970 to 1975 box set. This has got all of the, in my opinion, good years of Genesis. So everything from Trespass up until Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. This is my favourite era of Genesis, and this is a very lovely box set. This has got the dual cases in it. This is not the mini LPs. And I love that they've included the 5.1 surround sound mix for every single album. I've listened to Nursery Crime and Selling England by the Pound on those surround sound mixes, and they sound absolutely fantastic. They sound very, very good, and I really recommend this box set to anyone who likes Genesis, and early Genesis especially. I mean, I know they made multiple of these box set cubes, but that was the only one that I was really interested in because it had the good years of Genesis, in my opinion. I might get a lot of people complaining about that, but that's just my opinion. And lastly, I'm just going to show these all at once. So we have Volume 1, Volume 2 and Volume 3 of the 40th anniversary Queen box sets. Again, big Queen fan. I know I've seen plenty of comments from you guys who aren't Queen fans. You know, obviously you're not going to be a fan of everything, and obviously my content's my content. I will make videos about bands that I want to talk about. But I do love Queen a lot. One of my mum's favourite bands, and one of my favourite bands, and one of my boyfriend's favourite bands. And they're just really very good, and they're a very good band, and I think my favourite of them is probably the first one because it's got all the earlier stuff in it, and yeah, just a great band, that's all. These are very neat little box sets. I'm really excited to take them with me because they fit so nicely on the shelf, and the sound quality is very good. Again, dual cases, not mini LPs. I'm not sure which I prefer. Maybe I'll do a video about it. But yeah, that is it for the box set. So that is it for my haul this month. What did you guys think of my video? Do you like any of the things that I've gotten? And let me know what you got in this month, because it's always interesting to see what other people have acquired in the months. And I'm doing these like monthly, so I can always look back and see what I got throughout the months. Tomorrow, Saturdays with Dad. And it's a very interesting concept for a video, but I'm not going to spoil anything because I think that it'll be interesting for you guys to just watch it and not know going into it. But yeah, see you guys tomorrow for another episode of Saturdays with Dad. Thanks for watching, and yeah, again, if there's anything in this video that interested you, then let me know and I can do a box set showcase about it. Alright, see you guys later. Bye.